in Henderson, Nevada.
Sunset Park, Santa Monica, California.
Fort Wayne, Chesterfield Village.
So let's see, I pull up Kelly and I say, oh snap.
Show me a market snapshot for Alderbrook and High Point.
Here it is, a snap for Chesterfield Village.
There are 73 total active listings.
The average list price is 2.1 million.
It even tells me days on market.
Wherever you are, Kelly, oh snap, and you are the consummate professional for that particular area.
And it gives you real data right here on your phone at your fingertips, give you the competitive advantage when door knocking or going on listing appointments.
For instance, at the grocery store, overhearing somebody ask about current market conditions in that neighborhood, I'm able to pull it up real time in front of their eyes, and it really is a wow factor.
Thanks, Kelly.
Finding reliable, on-demand training and information shouldn't be as hard as finding Sasquatch. That's why we made it easier to access KW Connect through Kelly. Now hopefully your hunt goes better than the other guys. So if you're looking for an easier way to access your KW Connect account, leverage Kelly. You'll thank me later. Kelly, an easier way to find reliable, on-demand training and information.
Since launching in February, we've seen tens of thousands of agents use Kelly on a daily basis, getting value for their businesses. And we have a new feature that we want to announce called Kelly Snaps.
So we thought, what better place to unleash it than the tech capital of the US, San Francisco, California.
All right, Michael, so we're out here today in Union Square talking about Kelly.
I'm with Jennifer Rosdale, KW agent.
How has Kelly made an impact on your business today?
I use Kelly for referrals.
I've been using Kelly for referrals since Family Reunion.
It's great for connecting with other agents across the country.
I've received several and sent several.
Both inbound and outbound referrals. It's been great for my business.
And have you heard of the new feature that we just launched in Kelly called Kelly Snaps?
No, I haven't.
On my team, I use it myself when I'm showing property to show people transitions between neighborhoods. But I have a showing assistant who is both new to real estate and San Francisco and is able to use it to educate himself.
So with Kelly, you can simply say, Kelly Snap for my location, or Kelly Snap for Union Square.
And what it's going to do is going to generate a market report based off the real estate activity in that area.
Hyper-local market statistics mapped to next door neighborhood data that'll give you, average price per square foot, number of listings sold.
Meeting. So I'm going to preface this by saying there's a slight possibility that we could run late because we're playing the Gary Keller. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I promise anyone that would like the slides from the Gary Keller market update that we're doing today, I can get you the slides. I meant to do that this morning. But if you're interested in having that data that we're going to review, then I can get that for you. So just let me know after the meeting. All right, and then we're going to get started. So this is our gratitude quote for the day, and I want to start off by finding out what you're grateful for. So if there's something that you're grateful for, put your card in the bowl, and then we're going to draw for some gift cards. We have like a bunch of gift cards. We have a plethora of gift cards today. So I'm going to just put, I'm going to hold this. I'm going to ask you for what you're grateful for. So if you want a chance to win one of, I think, 3 or 4 gift cards, this is your opportunity. Yes, Brent.
I am grateful that there's a particular front for next week.
Okay, thanks. I'm probably the only person that is not grateful for that because I love summer and I don't want it to end. So there's that.
But 100 degrees is killing me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I am grateful to be here as a new agent with my husband as a team.
Yay, you are. We're grateful you're here too. Do you guys want to stand up and introduce yourself at this juncture since we're right here?
Sure.
Yeah.
My name is Laura Madrono, and I came from KW Georgetown from Omega Team, and I'm still just 18 months in. So just got here, and this is my husband. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hi, my name's Noe. I just came from JD Goodwin. Booze, please. And I'm now a team with my wife.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. We're glad y'all are here today. All right. Anyone else? Mary.
I'm grateful I had my first listing appointment.
Okay. Anyone else? Guys, there's only like 3 cards.
I got one.
Okay.
I don't have to put a card in. But
I'm going to say one too. I'm not putting a card in.
I'm so grateful. The Saints beat Seattle Seahawks. And one of our agents was trash talking on Facebook about how they were going to put a whooping on the Saints, and then we won. It's been a great conversation back and forth. Anyway, I'm super excited. No, ma'am.
Take your card out of there.
She didn't put it in there. All right. Anyone else? Dustin.
I'm grateful that my transaction should be still closing after my buyer supposedly lost his job 2 weeks ago. He didn't tell me.
Oh, that's fun. Isn't that fun? Okay, okay, awesome. Do you have one?
I am grateful for life.
Simple. What about Dustin's card?
Oh, well, I didn't see you had to, like hold it up. I'm like, well, maybe he doesn't hold it up.
Didn't know I had it wrong.
Yeah, sometimes you do. Hey,
I'm grateful that my buyer is out of the, my seller is out of the hospital, and we're going to be able to close on her house.
Well, that's good. Yeah, awesome. All right, anyone else? Okay, I'm grateful that for those of you that saw on Facebook, because that's kind of like our Facebook page. If anybody is not part of our Facebook page, you want to be part of it. That's like right now, until we get like Connect going, it's my #1 way of like communicating with you guys, then sending you an email that you get a bazillion of. And if you're like me, you're so far behind on email, it's not even funny. But I posted on Wednesday. So first off, I want to thank everybody that participated in the bowling tournament, because we had 5 teams there, which was pretty super amazing. We definitely dominated the bowling tournament. And we were all dressed up and participating, so that was awesome. We will have awards. Our bowling, we had an so we competed against all of the teams there, right? Our one team, the GI Joes, won the dead-ass last team, so that's cool. We got an award. We did not win Best Dressed. I will say the team that won Best Dressed, the theme was Looney Tunes / cartoons, and they took the Looney Tunes theme to the max, and they had like, I don't even know what her name is, but you know, they had like Tweety Bird in a cage and the whole 9 yards. So they won. However, we're going to, we had an inter-office tournament with our 5 teams. So we're going to give awards next Tuesday on October 1st meeting for gutter ball, which that one's pretty much, we already know who that's going to be, and Best Dressed, and then like top scoring team. So we'll have those we'll be presenting those next week. So, but that was the first thing. That night, or that day at the bowling tournament, I ran into an agent who's not the Keller Williams agent, who is going through really hardship with her family. Her daughter actually just had surgery yesterday. It took them forever to figure out what was wrong with her. She's been taking care of her grandkids, And so I just put the call out for you guys to donate some gift cards, because she just was like, by the time we get done with the hospital, we're like, I'm trying to feed the grandkids, I'm trying to get them to their sports, and it would just help if I just had gift cards that said, okay, tonight you're going to Chick-fil-A or whatever, so I don't even really have to think about it. And I just want to commend everyone. We raised over $400 in gift cards in like 2 days. You guys just came out in full force, and so I'm grateful for that when we put the call out. This isn't even, what was most impressive to me is it wasn't even one of our own, so I can only imagine if it was one of our own. I know that in the crisis, like, we can come together, so I just want to thank you guys for that. So with that said, anybody else want to add to this gratitude bucket before we draw a very slim pickings for some gift cards? Anyone? All right, well, I'll leave that there. And then sponsors. So because we're running a really tight ship today, I'm going to have a tight meeting. I'm going to have to revert back to what we have to do for our sponsors to make sure that we stay on time. And so we have this gun, this Nerf gun, and I need a timer. Can I get someone to volunteer to time? I need a timer. Anyone? Okay, Mary. 2 minutes that you guys you're together, correct? Or are you separate? Okay. All right. So we have Greg with Gap and Laquita. So we'll give you each 2 minutes to speak. And if I cock the gun, which I think I already did, but if I shoot you, you'll know you're done. All right. Awesome.
Scary.
Time starts now. I'm going to get in the back. This is a high-powered rifle.
I will waste no time. So good morning. My name is Greg Powell. I'm the owner-operator of Gap Enterprises, which is a home repair and remodeling business. My son and I call myself the operator because my son and I run the business. We are the business. We do all the repairs ourselves. Unless we have bigger jobs or some specialties, and we have folks that we can call in to assist us in those. So started off on home advisors, people needing all kinds of different various and sundry repairs done in their home, and did that for a number of years, but built our business through some direct marketing with real estate agents and particularly property management companies. Really become the bulk of our business. There's such a quick turnover, on these markets. So we've specialized in doing make-readies, people moving in and out, inspection report punch lists, which have to be done. I got one Friday deadline, they're closing. And we understand the pressures that you're under as real estate agents and trying to keep things online, moving forward, not, messing up on deadlines. And we have a role in that, and we take that role very seriously. So we will bend over backwards, we will work late hours. I'll draw on people that are necessary to make sure that nothing jeopardizes the closing or the move-in on a piece of property. That's our commitment to you and to all the customers that we do have. And for 3 years now, we've been able to fulfill that. So that's the extent of our business. I say it's my son and I. And it's a wonderful opportunity for me to work with my son, pass on some of the skills that I've learned over the years. He picked up his own in the Navy as a bosun's mate. So between us, my old school way of doing things and his little bit more modern and sometimes better approach than mine, we get things done and we do them well. We have a 5.0 5-star rating on Home Advisor at Google. We let our customers speak for us and the quality of work that we do. Quality is one thing, but consideration for you as our customers and your customers, the people that you're trying to assist in buying a house, selling a house, getting things moving along. That's our focus, and that's what's kept us in business. So, are there any questions quickly about anything I've said? If not, I will hang out after the meeting today in the break room. Have more brochures and some business cards. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And I thank you for the opportunity to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Start the 2 minutes over again there.
Okay, let me know when I'm on. I don't want to. Actually, I'll start early. How's that? Okay. Thank you for having me. Good morning. I'm Laquita King with BFS Home Warranty. And I'd like to start off by telling you a little bit about myself, and then I'll talk about my company. But I was with Keller Williams as an agent for several years, and when I left Keller Williams, I went to Chicago Title, sold title insurance, and from there I went to First American and sold home warranties. And I've been in the home warranty industry for many years now. And the reason I share that with you is I want you to know that I have real estate background, obviously. I know how hard you guys work, and my job is to support you. If you have a needy homeowner who has a lot of questions about home warranties, give them my number. I'll be happy to answer their questions, walk them through the plan, help them pick out something for their property. Or maybe you're just in a time crunch and you're really rushed and you don't have time to write a warranty. I will write your warranty, trust me. Text me, call me, I'll be happy to write it. I'll get that invoice over to the title company for closing. So I'm here to support you and assist you in any way I can. Enough about me, okay? BFS Home Warranty. We've been in business for 40 years. We are out of Florida. We service Texas, Florida, Arizona, and Nevada. Now, the most important thing that I can tell you about our company is this. We have our own service centers and we hire our own technicians. We never use subcontractors. There's no middleman. When your homeowner has this warranty, they deal with us directly. And that is huge because we can control the quality of service and the response time that we give our homeowners. If you've ever had a home warranty go to the dark side because some subcontractor did not show up and they did not call the homeowner, then you know how important it is to control your service. Every other home warranty company in the industry uses subcontractors. We are the only one that has our own technicians. That is huge, okay? I just want to point out a couple of things in the middle of our warranty. First of all, our basic starts at $375. That is the best price on the market. Okay, the deluxe $550, premium $700. We have all these options at the bottom of the plan. You can take any of our warranties, add the options, and build a plan to fit your property need. Okay, now deductibles, $55. $55, that is the lowest deductible on the market. Has anyone heard of anything less than $55? That's a great price. So, I'm going to point out one last thing. Right here on the back, in the middle of our plan, this little paragraph, we disclose to homeowners that we pay professional fees. We pay $75 per warranty to agents. So, keep that in mind, okay?
Thank you.
If you have any questions, I'll be out here. I have a lot more to tell you.
We'll visit with you afterwards. Thank you very much, and thank you guys for providing our lunch today. All right, so we already, oh yes, and go ahead, Peggy.
We have an additional guest. I'm Peggy with Castle Rock Builder in Saddle Creek. We're located in southeast Georgetown. We've got some inventory homes that are ready, and we're paying a big chunk of change for some closing costs. I don't have time for the speech, but come out and see us for sure. I'll be out in the lobby if you want to chat about that.
Awesome, thank you. And anybody that didn't put their card in there that would like to put their card in there, you guys have one gift card? Who has a gift card?
There's 2 gift cards
These two.
there.
We have these 2, right?
And then I have one as well.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to let them pass the bowl around, and then we'll give those out shortly when I get to a stopping point. But anyway, do we have any other guests in the room besides, I know we have the Madranos here, and Peggy. Are there any other guests? Okay.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah, go ahead.
Perfect. So happy birthdays and September birthdays. I brought a birthday cake, and it's in the break room. It's a big cake. So happy birthday. And then real quick, we have pocket-sized premium rate cards. I'll leave them out there by that. And if anyone's doing door knocking for prospecting, we have door hangers, and there's a spot at the top where you can staple your card to it. And it has 5 quick tips for potential sellers when they're getting ready to sell their home.
Okay, so thank you, Catherine. Awesome. All right. What's happening, Bruce? What?
Have your attention for a moment. Put that coffee down. Let's talk about something important.
It's okay.
Because we're adding a little something to this month's sales contest. There's You all know first prize is Cadillac Eldorado. You want to see second prize? Second prize is Cincinnati. Third prize is your fire. Stand up and strike back. Somebody, to do something. Now, this time, yes. What can you do? I gotta tell you, I'm ready to do the Dutch. I know what I'll do. I'll go out and rob everybody blind and go to Argentina. Is that your project? Yeah, we're just speaking about it. Speaking about it is an idea. We're not actually talking about it. No, it's a robbery. And a robbery? No, come on, let's so afraid. I'll give you a little boost. Tonight is the thing. So be it. What happened? What happened? We had a slight burglary. Criminals come and they steal the phones. They stole the phones, they stole the... You robbed the office. Oh, sure, I robbed the office. Oh, sure. You did that? Get out of here. How can you talk to me that way? Are you talking to me? If I talk to the police, I get nervous. You know who doesn't? Oh, idiots. What's your name? Al Pacino, Jack Lemmon, Alec Baldwin, Ed Harris, Alan Arkin, from the Pulitzer Prize winner, Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross. This is how we keep score, Bubby.
Okay, so for those of you that were here last week, the reason that we're showing this is because we're having a movie night here, and I can't for the life of me off the top of my head remember what day it is, but I believe it's towards the end of October, so stay tuned. And that also, I'll put out there that we're having a foosball tournament October 16th. So for those of you, probably by the end of this week, I'll put a call out for those that want to play in the tournament. We do have a foosball table upstairs, October 16th. I believe that this is like we're showing this the 24th or the 25th, but stay tuned. This was working on it. Yeah, we're working on getting the date. We have the date set, we just can't remember what it is. So, all right, training calendar review. Okay.
I'll do it my way.
Okay.
If it doesn't want to work. Boom. Calendar. And that way everyone knows how to get to it.
So for those of you who don't know, we have our internal website, kwramrock.com. It needs a little bit of cleaning up because I had Bruce dump all the coaching stuff on it, and I haven't had a chance to go in and clean it up and make it all make sense. But the idea is that that's a one-stop shop for you to get all the information that you need. Okay, so we're today. We're done today.
Done.
Okay, so tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock we have the For Sale by Owner Expired Peer Group with Nevada. Bruce is teaching command at 10:30. Tomorrow at noon, an Evite went out. What I'm doing, I'm soliciting, I want you guys to come in. It doesn't matter if you're not at 2 million in production. I don't care what production level you're in. I want your assistance in helping us build our training calendar. And what I mean is, for our new agents, we've got the foundation laid, and now we want to work on that next layer. So I want your feedback, what kind of classes that you're looking for, what training you would like to see, because I want your feedback, and I want to put stuff on the training calendar that you're interested in, that you want to show up for. Okay, so that's what that is. And then right after that, Avis will be here teaching contracts class. So it would be awesome if you would come at 12 and then stay till 2. So we changed the time on this, right? We had to change it to 12 to 3.
Yes, ma'am.
So for those of you that don't know, there was a scheduling conflict. Tanya's going to be here from 12 to 3 on Thursday instead of 9 to 12 to teach listing boot camp. Okay. On Friday, Bruce will teach command at 10, and then at 1 o'clock I have 0 to 2 transactions. So anybody that's not done any business yet, or you've done 1 or 2 transactions, this is a chance for us to have, we typically do kind of a round robin to see what's going on in your business, and then I offer some kind of value add training. So please show up for that. And then at 3 o'clock we do our labs happy hour. For those of you who don't know what that is, we live stream the latest in labs from Keller Williams International, and we have some beer and wine. So that's what that's all about. All right, and then can you just pull Monday up?
Yep.
Because it's the last day of the month. Okay, and then on Monday the 30th we have command with Bruce. So that's what we got for the rest of this month. Awesome.
Cool.
Can I just?
And I'll flip it back.
Okay. All right, so right now, any buyer needs, anybody looking for the unicorn, or anybody have any new listings or anything that they'd like to talk about? Yes, Rick.
One of my own rental properties just went vacant. It's in pretty good shape. As soon as GDAA finishes the little punch list to get it ready, it'll be back on the market for rent. And it's in Crystal Knoll in Georgetown, up around Inner Loop on the north side. 2-story, 4-bedroom, all up, 2.5 bath. Be listed for probably about $14.75. So if you have any tenant prospects, bring them on by. House is actually showable now. It's just a matter of getting a few things like the lawnmower and stuff like that.
Anybody else, buyer needs?
My house is going on the market October 1, hopefully, and it's a Star Ranch, 2,400 square feet, 4 bedrooms and a media room.
We're going to talk to you why October 1 will probably not be a good day.
Okay.
October 3rd. Put it on the market on a Thursday. Does anybody know why you put a house on the market on a Thursday? Anyone?
Friday's coming up.
You put your house on the market on a Thursday, then when the auto, whoever's on the auto search or whatever that you have set up on a search, they're going to get that. If you have them set up on the default search, they're going to get that at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Friday. So the reality is you're always looking, like for me, I care about my days on market because that is a selling point when you go on a listing appointment. If you can say my average days on market are 9 days. Putting a house on the market on a Tuesday, I'm not saying that someone wouldn't come, but you're going to get the bulk of people coming on the weekend, right? And then it also keeps it new. Anywhere that you list it, it keeps it new through the weekend. So that's the idea of putting it on a Thursday. And then, so you can close the gap on your average days on market.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, cool. All right, anybody else? All right, Bruce. Come out of the closet, please.
Michelle, I have the date for the movie night.
Okay.
25th at 4 o'clock.
What day of the week is that?
Friday.
Okay, at 4. Okay, October 25th, 4 o'clock, we're going to show Glengarry Glen Ross. We're going to have some snacks and I'm sure we're going to have some beer and wine or something. So anyway, if you just want to come hang out and watch the movie as a group, we can do that. It'll be lots of fun.
Working on a popcorn machine.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. I mean, I don't know. It could still be 100 degrees. I've got a way to bring like snow cones here if I need to. So.
A margarita machine. A lot of it.
Okay, take it away.
All right, so we're going to talk about Command and DocuSign and .loop and where we're at with that. So most of you have seen a lot of you in my training, so I know that most of you have already done what I call phase 1, which is connecting your DocuSign to Command, so that once we transition over, that piece is already done for you. So where we're at right now is basically we're holding with .loop for now for documents and compliance. We're working with DocuSign and Mary, and we're going to probably put together a little co-op team of people who want to start using Command for everything and just do a little test group. And so we've got some ideas on people we want to invite to that, and that's something that you're really interested in, let me know if you want to be the test subject and are willing to deal with some extra issues possibly, right, as we work it out. Maybe some double work because you might have to do it in .loop and in DocuSign for a little while. So we get it worked out. But so as an office, we've extended our .loop for all of our agents, so you can continue just working as usual in .loop. Yeah, we want to make this transition over. Couple things. One is, at some point, we have to come off of the .loop because now it costs money to be with them, and DocuSign is what's being provided by KW, and it's integrated, and So, and then get y'all guys start using all the features of opportunities plus the document piece, which is inside opportunities. So, there we go. That's kind of where we're at right now. Kind of holding pattern.
Okay. Okay, so big announcement, starting next week, October 1st, property tour will no longer be at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
It will be at 12:30, which means after team meeting, we'll grab some food and then we'll head out. So There is a rumor going around that Casey Jorgensen will pull up in his party bus and we'll all just pile in there. So I'll have to confirm with him that that's actually going to happen. It may not happen every Tuesday, but I know that he's going to make an effort. So for those of you, I know sometimes when we go on property tour, we may have other appointments, so we can't like carpool. But the thing that I remember most in this office is that after our team meeting, we all kind of piled in cars and carpooled with people and went to property tour, and it was a lot of fun. And so we want to bring that back. So starting next week, property tour at 12:30. Awesome. Okay.
Oh, real quick, back on that slide, I made that with designs in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was super easy.
So this
I
is,
looked good at it.
yeah, that's awesome.
I should enter it in the content.
You should. And I know that we do have some entries in the contest, which I don't know if that slide's in here. But it may or may not be in here, I can't remember. But just remember that we have a designs contest through Monday. A designs contest through Monday. If you create a design in Command, then use the hashtag KWRR Designs. Either post it on their Facebook page or Instagram page. And then this gentleman actually is going to be who decides on who wins. So do you have to push a button to go?
You hit that.
Oh, okay. All right. So for those of you who don't know who this is Nick Baldwin. He was on the design panel at Mega Camp. And I think he has something to say.
So as a real estate agent, Command is really going to help my business in so many ways. It's going to streamline the transaction with the opportunities feature, which is going to allow me and my other agents to see our pipeline in real time. It's going to allow us to see what our commission is going to be by the end of the month. It's going to hold us accountable. And the great thing about being able to see what your pipeline looks like for the rest of the month gives you that motivation to keep going and to always strive for more. Over the last year or so, there's new energy that's been pumped into the company. There is just such excitement for the technology, seeing it become the system that we've all been building together. What's coming next? Like, what's the next update on Command going to be? You know, how is the next thing going to change my business? It's really exciting.
So hit next one.
Okay.
This is what's next. This just came out like a week ago. So this is market snapshots for a neighborhood. So see this design piece right here? So I went into Command, into designs, and in about 5 minutes, I can create this marketing piece that has marketing, neighborhood stats for that neighborhood. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now, because it shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. So I'm not going to explain as much, because if I explain everything I'm doing, it'll take more than 5 minutes. I'm just going to show you. So give me a neighborhood that we want to do. So I'm logged into Command. I'm going to click over here and go to Designs. And I'm going to do this is my library. So I'm going to click plus and I'm going to say Social Post.
Hidden Glen, since nobody.
Hidden Glen, got it. All right, so I'm not doing a listing, so I'm going to skip this. I'm going to hit X, and I'm going to create a market snapshot for Hidden Glen.
Participatory.
Yeah. All right.
What's going on there?
All right, so over on the left-hand side, you see where it says Neighborhood Snaps? That's where I'm going to go. Click Neighborhood Snaps. So then I can choose, am I doing this for Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn or Twitter? So depending on the platform, I'm choosing Facebook. So I'm going to pick one of these designs I think is cool. I like this one. And so it's going to come up with some default information. I just need to change that to the neighborhood that we want. And then I'll show you how to search and pull the snapshot for that neighborhood. All right, so it comes up with Barton Hills. So I'm going to double click in here, change it. What's the neighborhood again?
Hidden Glen. 2 D's, yeah.
Two
One
N's?
N.
One N?
One N.
2 E's? No? That's
Yeah,
it?
that's it.
Perfect.
That's it.
All right, cool. So I need to change the snapshot over here to be Hidden Glen. So how would I do that?
It's Reggie.
On the left-hand side, yep. On the left-hand side, I'm going to click on KWLS because, our Command has access to all the MLSs in the U.S. And then instead of listings, I'm going to go to Snapshot. And then I'm going to type in Hidden Glen, enter. Let's do...
Oh, crap.
What city is that?
Round Rock.
Oh, it's one in first. Okay, there's Round Rock right here. Because again, it's the entire U.S., so there's more than one hidden Glen in the world. What? So it gives me two marketing pieces, this tall one or the side one. Well, in this deal, it's this one. So I'm just gonna single click this to select it, and then I'm gonna use the little happy swirl button and replace it. Now I'm done. Well, I probably should replace the logo, right? Let's just do that. Since I already have the logos uploaded on mine. Oops, I did the wrong thing. Hold on. So you select it, right? It's highlighted. Then I hit the swirl, replaces it. There we go. I need to move it a little bit, but boom. Okay, if I wanted to add my picture, my information, whatever, I could do that. So what do you think? This is a market snapshot for Hidden Glen marketing piece. Done. You could consider replacing this photo with maybe one that looks more local if you want to, but it's okay. Yeah. So I'm going to download this as a high quality JPEG, and then since that only took me like 2 minutes, I'm going to use the next 3 minutes to post this on Facebook with my command. Because I've already connected this to command, so I'm going to say back. It downloaded that graphic for me. So I'm going to go back to the beginning of command, and then I'm going to go to campaigns. And now I'm not going to do a paid campaign email direct mail. This is just a post. So I want to schedule a post. So I'm going to go over here, say new post, social post. I've already connected my Facebook. Let's grab that photo that we made in my downloads. I think it's this one, right? In Glen, perfect, next. Oh no, it's a square. It's broken. No, we just need to do this right here to switch to widescreen, crop image. Now I've got a nice post, and I can schedule that to go out later on my business page. So you can do all of that within command in a few minutes. And then you see these dots here? These are posts that I've done or are scheduled to go out on Facebook. And then it's a different icon for Twitter. So just a little snapshot.
So you could literally do different, well, I guess it wouldn't be super current if you did one of these, if you scheduled this one like a week in advance.
Yeah, the market stats would be a little off, but do they have to be right anyways?
No.
They don't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just information. Because you're going to sit down with them and get the real
see, so you have it scheduled. So like if you wanted to do different ones for different neighborhoods.
So I got one going out tomorrow, one on the 25th. And so you can plan out your social media strategy on here, and then this calendar is nice because it shows you everything.
I like how it says looking to sell in Blackhawk, because if you're looking for listings, that would be a great thing to post, and then you've got the app, you've got all the stats for the neighborhood.
And that's just one of the. I just changed the name of the neighborhood, added the snapshot, saved it, uploaded it, posted it. So pretty cool tools in there.
Yeah.
And right, that's all I got.
Costs how much?
That was all free.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Free is good. I like it.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Here. Yep.
Okay, so it is here. So designs contest. You could even use one of those that you're using that you're going to post on Facebook anyway as part of the designs. Post it on our page, post it on your page, post it everywhere. Works for me. Okay. We already kind of talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. All right. All right. So we're a little bit behind time. So this presentation is about 37 minutes, so I'm just prepping you for that. It's really good information. If you weren't at Mega Camp, you didn't get a chance to watch it, the live stream or see this. This is Gary Keller's market update. I mean, it's going to tell you a lot of stuff like where all the money in real estate is going and all that good stuff. And if you do want the slides, I have the slides. If you want the slides afterwards, just let me know and we'll get you a copy of them. All right? All right.
Oops. I got to pull it up. 1 second.
Okay.
It's not taking me there. Not taking me there. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Technical difficulty. We can just go ahead and edit this. Copy link. Paste link. Am I doing it wrong? Try that one more time.
That's why I have.
Copy This is technical stuff here. Copy paste.
I can help you.
It's not doing it. Gary, come up here. I need you now.
Maybe just go into KW Connect.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry guys, we're having.
Had this working before.
I know.
It's okay. And then it's market update, right?
Yeah, and it might be easier to search Megacamp.
Oh, Megacamp. Sure. What's funny is I can see the link. It's Connect Details Megacamp 2019 Market Update. Like I feel like I could almost type that faster. Let's see if it shows up here. Oh,
just keep going. You just gotta keep going.
I'm gonna switch to just videos.
You're getting close. You're getting closer. Go to next. Like in the third.
There it is.
There it is.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool. Boom.
Alright, so we're gonna go through this real quickly. The first thing is looking at home sales annually, and the thing that we want you to understand is recession is around the corner. Now, around the corner could mean in 6 months, it could mean in a year, it could be in 2 years. When you start hearing economists talk about recession and they start trying to predict when it's going to occur, what that tells you is someone's going to do something stupid and cause it. That's usually how it happens. So home sales are down, right? They're not down significantly. In some markets, they're even up. But if you look at the trend lines, what you begin to understand is what goes up goes down, what goes down goes up. So that's where we are. When you look at our pricing, this is kind of in alignment with what the U.S. government wants to see, and that is they want to see about a 4% price increase in homes on an annual basis. And unless my eyes deceive me, that's what?
That's right around 3%, Gary.
So there you go.
Right now for the year.
Yep, so about 3%. So that's good. That's what we want to see.
Hey, Gary, we've seen actually the first shift in prices go negative in one area. I know, was it the Keller index that Seattle is actually moving backwards now?
Yes.
That could be an indicator that some parts of the country are actually going to see price declines.
Yeah, Seattle saw about a 1.2% year-over-year decline based on the Keller's top 20 index this past month.
We look at months of supply, and there you go. You're still in a seller's market.
Yeah, we expect that to start trending up, Gary, but it's still remained pretty low this year with, as we're going to see interest rates be really low. And despite the fact that home sales haven't picked up, we're still in kind of a two-market situation, right? We've seen things slow down a lot at the top of the market, but at the entry levels, things are still very tight in almost every city.
Well, a 3.6 trending up to 4.3 you now see that as the absolute direction we're going in. When we look at mortgage rates, this is probably the surprise of the year, and that is everyone's refinancing their house.
Yeah, we're actually only about 25 basis points off the all-time low right now, based off of last Thursday's reading of about 3.6%.
And now they've dropped even lower, so.
Yeah, if we were betting money, I would never bet that.
Yeah.
In a million years, I would never have said that interest rates can go that low. One of the interesting things that we have going on is in the United States is we have a president who tries to influence fiscal policy via tweets.
Yeah.
And we've never seen that before. And I don't know if it's good or bad, by the way, but it's interesting.
Yeah. When the Fed lowered rates, this past month, I was honestly expecting mortgage rates to potentially trend up, because usually if something's good for, overall economic growth, mortgage rates will kind of continue, treasury rates will tick upwards, it's a longer term bond, mortgage rate will follow that. But then, the trade stuff happened and everything just sort of went the other direction. Now we're looking at mortgage rate potentially, getting even closer to those all-time lows.
Well, so it's interesting, just a reminder that interest rates are the Fed's tool to govern the economy. And they can use it to speed things up, they can use it to slow things down. When you see this happening right here, you do have a slight concern. And the slight concern is when you're now getting to potentially an all-time low or in that range of all-time low historically, then the Fed has no more bullets in their gun. In other words, we would be in the area of, oh crud, what do we do now to help the economy? So seeing it this low, it feels great to consumers, and you and I love that. There's no question about that. Simultaneously, that's the other side that you just want to pay attention to, right? The thing that you would always tell a buyer, and that is, there's always a good time to buy the right piece of real estate, regardless of the economy and regardless of interest rates. And historically, since the beginning of time, that has proven to be 100% true. And all you would say is just be aware that this is at an all-time low, right? If you want to buy, this would be a great time to lock in a mortgage. Unemployment, well, you can see the trend line, so nothing needs to be said about that. It's one of the things that actually drives the purchasing of homes, right? And that is people have jobs. So this is a good thing. But again, we're at a historical low. The odds of it staying there are what? Slim. Yeah. I have cue cards, so I did some cue cards. Yeah, so it's slim. But again, at 3.7, we're in extraordinary times. Interest rates have already moved back to close to an all-time low. Unemployment has moved back to an all-time low or close to it, right? Home price is beginning to stabilize, and you look up and you go, are we in a good place? What do you think?
I feel like we're right at the top, right? We're either just on the downslope, like the sales indicate, and we just don't know, is it gonna accelerate in that direction, or are we gonna level off? Because a lot of these numbers are really healthy. We've actually seen wage increases.
Well, this is, by the way, the only reason why you don't see me jumping up and down, these numbers are all great. In the real estate industry, this is like, man, this is like three apples coming up on a slot machine. This is a big deal. This is all a big deal. I tend to think about the market that I'm headed into and not the market that I'm in. So you always see my mind going in a different direction. I'm putting on that black hat and I'm saying, okay, well, what's going to happen next? Because more down, right? Going to 3.6 or 3% unemployment seems a little iffy. Interest rates keep going down. That seems extremely iffy to me. Prices going down. I don't think that's going to happen because we're still in a seller's market. So now you've just got inside the head of Gary Keller. So I look at all of that and I go, it's now time to start preparing for the market that's coming.
It's like a spring that's been compressed.
Yeah.
Right? And you can only push it down so much further, and you know that if momentum goes the other way, things can go fast.
Yeah, that's
right. If interest rates go up with high prices, affordability goes down, all those things can work the other direction too. So we just gotta be prepared. We gotta lead generate and we gotta keep our expenses in line.
That's right. That's exactly right. Right? And so then this becomes the kind of the somewhat mystery of our industry, and that is the lost years of the new construction. And the way that lenders worked with speculative builders changed dramatically coming out of the Great Recession, and they're struggling to find their way back. Any thoughts on that?
So, I mean, builders have been dealing with basically the fact that, to make more money on the lots available to them, they've been building at higher price ranges. We're starting to see demand kind of slack off at that top end of the market now, so they're having to come to terms with that. They're also dealing with labor shortages and potentially even prices of materials in different sectors, everything that's going on. And we've actually seen with existing home sales slowing down, the buildup of essentially spec homes, homes that aren't under contract that are completed has actually increased quite a bit this year. So that builders are probably feeling that as well, which is why we think this new home construction is probably going to flatten off, despite the fact that we've been, below historical norms the last couple of years.
Yeah. Let's look at Canada real quick. So when you look at Canada, the only thing that concerns me a little bit, I like the fact that sales potentially bottomed out. I like that. I don't like that. for Canada, and that is the whole point of all the government regulations and everything they were trying to do was to slow that down right there. And it looks like they did it for 1 year.
Yeah, it's interesting. We saw them kind of take their foot off the pedal a little bit with the housing market with a lot of regulation over the last couple of years. We saw a couple years of declines in sales, 1 year decline in price, and now they're actually initiating sort of more programs that are actually going to increase demand for housing, which is focused primarily on first-time buyers. They're allowing people to, in Canada, you can actually borrow from your retirement account, not borrow actually, just simply withdraw from your retirement account to put a down payment on a house. They're increasing the amount you can do that with by about $10,000. And starting in September, they're initiating a program where you can essentially get a 0% interest loan with a 25-year term on it from the government. If you're a first-time buyer for like 5% of a existing home or 10% of a new home. So essentially, you're giving everyone 5 to 10%.
So they're very aggressive in what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as it hovers around that and we don't see that again, I'm good. If we see this as a trend back up in any way ahead of inflation, I'm not happy about that.
What we don't have a slide for, what we can't see is that affordability has been declining in Canada for about 6 years. And that's the problem. When you have really bad affordability, it slacks off demand, and that can be a real problem.
And they're still in a balanced market overall, but they're continually flirting with being right back into a seller's market.
Yeah.
So let's switch gears. Let's talk about tech funding, because when we make the comment that you're not going to recognize the real estate industry, it's money is causing that, right? It's the enormity of money that is coming into our industry. So this right here gives you a really good sense of how much money since 2013 has been flooded into our industry. And you know, guys, I don't have a chart that says how much money flowed in there in 2007 or 2009. We didn't track it. I guess we could go look. That's astounding. The sheer amount of money. And look at the last 2 years. Look at the size of the money, right? We're talking about $15 billion. And my guess is we didn't see $15 billion go into tech funding for real estate in all the other years combined, or we had to go back 50 years and add it all up to even come close to that. So when we say that we're not going to recognize our industry, is that money is being deployed. It's being spent in the industry.
Hey Gary, one thing on this slide that I think is really interesting too is that purple line is the number of unique deals happening. And so what you're seeing is, if you think about it, and most industries will see this kind of pattern where when there's a lot of disruption, every startup and every person has an idea and they come out and they raise some money. And so you see that spread, that purple line grow as more and more investors are placing more and more bets on more and more companies. An interesting thing happened this year, which is the amount of bets being placed has significantly reduced.
Yes.
So there's not a lot of opportunity for new players. What's happening now is the winners that are left are getting the rest of the funding. And so you're actually seeing consolidation happen within the players that are left on the field. And that's a pretty interesting moment in this trend.
Well, that's not an insignificant, when you make that statement that less deals, if you look at that purple line, right, the 500, and realize that it's almost coming in half.
That's right.
Right, which means that what you just said is that companies, the money is doubling down on the players that are on the chessboard.
Right. New ideas are not getting funded right now nearly at the scale they were a few years ago. Now it's the players on the chessboard. That's it. That's right.
That's right. So if we hang with us on this graph, by the way, you will understand it. So what we try to do is represent for you where the money went. And if you look at this graphic, the yellow bars represent the areas. Search in 2019, only $51 million went into search. Why?
People believe that is an opportunity to get maximum returns anymore. And so you'll see they're all going to new spaces. Another really interesting thing that we find in observation is in that post-purchase, no one's investing in the home ownership phase. No one's investing in that. We see that as a huge opportunity for ourselves and for the Asian community. And so you'll see we move more and more into that home ownership phase. But they're all looking to how do they get to the transaction and how they get to the transaction in new spaces.
Yes, you look at brokerages of 425 million, where'd that money go?
In brokerages, it's a lot of that's basically a couple of small players. One player in particular raised about half of that.
Yep. One player raised half of that. When you look at the iBuyer, that's where all the money's going.
Yep.
When you look at that. We sit around, we poo-poo iBuyer, right? But the reality is that it's here to stay at some level. I don't think there's any question about that.
I wonder how much of that is, and I don't know the answer, and maybe Ruben can correct me, there's money that's being invested in that company for the technology and for the building of the business. iBuyer also demands a ton of capital to actually run that business. Mm-hmm. So I think it's artificially going to be inflated a lot because they need to, we'll see when we do our interviews, this takes a lot of money to do that.
That's not the loans. This is the VC funding.
This is just the VC funding.
That's
just even more money going in outside of that though.
No, this isn't the other money that they had to do to go borrow the money. Yeah, this is just the running of their business. This is not the money that they're using to buy the houses with.
And this money is a rounding error on that money.
Yeah.
So the scale of that money is.
Yes, when you see it like that. By the way, look at mortgage. Isn't that interesting? And yes, it is interesting. Because the mortgage industry in many ways has been as unaffected by tech as the real estate industry, and VC money now sees that as a massive opportunity. We'll talk about it a little later this afternoon, excuse me, but this is exactly why Keller Mortgage was created. We saw what was coming and our goal was to get way ahead of that, right? I think that the agent tools one is interesting because almost the vast majority of that money went to one company, right? Matterport.
Right.
Well, and if you really think about this with the slide,
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And what the slide tells me is you think about iBuyer and the way the iBuyers are currently positioned is to allow the iBuyer to go directly to the consumer, which kind of discounts the agent. If you think about the brokerages and the agent tools are the two things that empower agents, which provide the best consumer experience, which is all the data supports that. None of the money from new materially is going into helping agents and consumers have better actual experiences. All the money is going to try to create new experiences, and that's what we also think is the opportunity.
Yep, I agree with that statement 100%.
I think another thing with the agent tools thing, Gary, though, is that they're basically saying we own that now. That money stopped flowing in there when we started investing, and they realized that once we own that space, the payoff's not there for the VC money anymore.
It is odd, but I think that you actually affected that right there, and that is that there was a belief that old dogs couldn't learn new tricks. And the second that the biggest old dog in the industry showed that it could out-trick the new dogs, the money dried up.
Yeah.
That's good. It was a really weak clap. So, we're going to have fun today. It's really important that money stop going, by the way. It's really important to stop that money. This is why we have said publicly for the last 2 years to our competitors, and that is, come on in, the water's fine.
That's right.
Get involved. Absolutely, we need everyone to play in order to stop people from coming outside the industry and trying to affect how you do business in a negative way. The only way to do that is to dry the money up and show them that we can do it too. In fact, we can do it better than them. Okay? That's the game plan. And that shows you that it actually is working. Right? So let's talk about this idea, the fourth industrial revolution. When someone tells you that you're in an industrial revolution and you realize there's only been 3 others in the history of mankind, you really should sit back and listen for just a second and think about it. So when you look at what was the first one, it was basically manufacturing. And then the second one was, that was the first industrial revolution. The second one was the materials they used. The third was the energy they used. And the fourth is artificial intelligence driven by big data. So in our lifetime, you and I are living our lives in the creation and the maturation of the fourth industrial revolution. So we just wanted to take a minute before we skedaddle off of this subject and try to explain to you in as simple terms as we can what's going on. There's a wonderful book called Platform Revolution. If you haven't read that book, of all the books, of all the places you could go for information, if you simply read that singular book, I think you would sit it down and you would
That's
go,
gonna be our next book club book.
I get it. Now, here's the best way we can explain it to you, because there's a lot of confusion in the marketplace, in our industry, because everybody, once we started using the word platform, that we were building a platform, the entire industry immediately said, we have a platform, we have a platform, we built a platform, we've had our platform forever, right? And we just wanted to try as simply as is humanly possible to not nerd out on you, but at the same time give you some functional understanding about what's going on in your industry. So we put together two graphics. We want to show you the platform of the past, which actually, for most of our competitors, is the platform of the present.
Yes, and the way that we think about this is that you know you're in this world when the agent is the platform. And so the reason those little agent purple lines is because if you're having to log into system 1 and then log into system 2 and use either Excel spreadsheets or VAs or admin staff or chasing down agents to get information or chasing down different systems, if you're doing that work, you're the platform. And those systems may roughly, loosely log into each other or talk to each other, but they don't actually make your life simpler. That's how you know you're kind of in the old world model of a platform.
Yeah, so the tech on the far left doesn't communicate with the tech on the far right.
Not in a way that allows you to not have to do anything.
Right, that's exactly right. So we just coined the phrase bolt-on technology, because you can bolt all that together, and in the absence of anything else, it actually appears like things are getting better, that the software is potentially even talking to each other. But that's not what's going on.
And the biggest problem with this, we did all those research, that year that you and I were building our plan and doing research with our top agents in the labs, the problem with this model is that as your business grows, the complexity grows. And your time inside these systems grows, and your time working with VAs and operational staff grows, and your expenses grow. And so while you're trying to build a scalable real estate business, you find yourself having to scale all these functional operational tasks that don't provide any value to your business. That's the problem with that model.
Right, that's right. So if we look at what the fourth industrial revolution is, it's a tech platform is what you build on, right? The platform becomes the floor with an endless consumer experience ceiling. So the platform is built around two ideas. Number one is connected data. And connected data simply means that the data has been trained for a specific industry, and then the data has been pieced together to create what you would call microservices. Okay? So you do that, and then you prime the pump for your AI, and when you are ready, when you have those two things, you're ready to go build specific application dashboards. So the difference between that screen and that screen is in here, the software is in those circles. Here, the software is in the purple. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
The software is in those circles, and it doesn't actually effectively talk to each other.
Which, again, you feel that when you talk to your technology vendors and they have to spend energy and time integrating other systems, that's because they have to go into their independent software code and get them to talk to each other. And a platform is completely different. The platform just says, here's how you talk to our ecosystem, and everyone can plug in, which we're gonna talk about more tomorrow.
So again, the simple, yeah, you're gonna see AI in the new command.
That's right.
You'll begin to experience it today. You'll start seeing the benefits what artificial intelligence can do. If everybody is connected to the same platform. So again, imagine that the consumer is using your app, and because, remember, the consumer is just using a dashboard, their phone is just a dashboard, right? A set of applications. The software is actually the same software that you're using for command. It's the same software, it's the same platform. As a result of that, every movement that the consumer makes when they use the software, right, the application, the platform is aware of it. So the platform starts looking for patterns. So my guess would be by next summer, I'm going to make that prediction. By next summer, we will be in a position, because we will have what you would say the consumer used it. Some of them decided to list their home or buy a home. Some of those closed, and the platform knows all of that. It immediately goes out like a heat-seeking missile and starts looking for patterns. So now you're in your database, and you get an alert that says you should call Gary Keller. Why? Because the pattern that we're noticing in his use of your personal app and browser says that he's going to list his home in the next 90 days. Here's the bigger thing. Here's the bigger thing. This is what, yeah, by the way, that changes everything. The industry changes dramatically. Right now, you can buy services who says, we're going to predict that someone's going to buy or sell. But you understand they're using demographic information. They're not using actual behavior around real estate. They're looking at, did they have a baby? Did they get a divorce? They're checking boxes that way. And it's not that that's not legitimate. The problem is it's usually no better than a 50-50 coin toss to see if they're going to take action or not. This is something very, very different. The other thing that AI allows you to do is, as the consumer is using it and you start seeing what they like or don't like, then behind the scenes, your technology company is absolutely changing and morphing what the product is in order for them to have better experiences. So they don't realize what's going on, but kind of like us upgrading command 100 times a week, consumer then will get upgraded 100 times a week in little micro ways.
For each consumer individually. So every consumer will have a curated experience based off their preferences. And one of the things I'm most excited about,
what he said,
what you just said a second ago, not only can we score it based off the pattern and say, you should reach out to Gary, we're actually going to tell you the time of day and would they prefer a phone call, a text message, or email based off watching them.
Yes.
You said it. You both said it in different ways. Like, it's a better experience. It's a better experience if you're the agent. It's a better experience if you're the consumer, right? The platform is meeting you doing your business in a simpler, more seamless way, and it's actually doing that for the consumer. We can deliver more value on both sides.
Yes. Here's what's going to happen. By this time next year, we're going to be able to look at your database, and with a certain level of certainty, we'll tell you the dollar value of your database. Right? I know the rest of you are stunned.
Where are those cue cards?
Yeah. Well, so what AI wants to do is look at your database of 500 people, and it wants to be able to tell you over time what the dollar value of those 500 people are to you. Right? Yes. Then it wants to come back and it wants to tell you how to better service them and how to better communicate with them. That's what it wants to do. That's when the industry changes, because you become so smart that your ability to provide one-on-one experiences for each of your consumers without you personally having to provide the one-on-one experiences becomes a reality. That's when technology becomes your friend. Make sense? Yeah. A simple example around mortgage would be at the closing, where you simply say, now that you've closed, all your data we've loaded this into your personal mobile app and browser for your real estate. And should rates ever change, and you could save money, would you like to refinance? And of course, consumers are always going to say yes. So you go, okay, great. Okay, that's done. You never have to think about it. If rates change and you could save money, we're going to get an alert that says you can save $29 a month on your mortgage with no origination fees and no closing costs. Click yes to lock in your rate. Okay. Half are asleep. They don't. By the way, that's how you get customers for life. The thing that scared us, and it's one of the reasons we started Keller Mortgage, is that scenario right there scared the pookie doo out of us. Because if you don't, that's grandfather terms, by the way. Because if you're not the one that can offer that at the lowest possible rate at no cost, you're out. You are out. Okay? And this is exactly why you see us going in insurance and mortgage, because those are the two big places. Look, let's be real clear about something. This Amazon Realty deal. Understand that Amazon offered that to you as well. We said no. And the other half of the room's going, what? I could have gotten a free Echo. What's that?
It only costs half your commission.
Yeah, the referral rate is over 40-something% for those leads. Yes, over 40-something% for those leads, by the way. Yeah. The point of me bringing this up, however, is for the fun of it, Justin just showed them our insurance marketplace, which you can go play with today out in the vendor hall. And their response was, ruh-roh. Yeah, and then can we invest?
Yes.
And we said no. Okay. So what you see going on in the industry is, if you look at those headers up there, this is where all the money has been going to try to get ahead of you. Right? And the reason why we looked dumb for a couple of years is that we did not spend any more time on bolt-on technology. We stopped. We turned the spigot off. We didn't invest any more money in it. And then we just, privately, we would apologize, but there's nothing we could do because it takes time to build this.
There's actually a story that I think is pretty cool. That was about 18 months in. We started telling the world what our plans were, we saw the vision. We saw this stuff coming in these conversations, and we just assumed all the other large companies were doing the same thing. And so we imagined that there was this like invisible race, that we're all racing to this finish line. And so as soon as we came out and said this is what we're doing, we had this our first toe in the water. We assumed everyone else was going to put their toes in the water and would be off to the races, and it was just like quiet. And everyone basically the opposite. They're like, we don't do technology. We're a real estate company, or that's silly. Why would you do that? And you actually had a real, in my mind, like authentic human moment where we looked at each other the next Monday meeting. We go, are we crazy? Like, is this? What's going on? And we went back to our data. We went back to the research. We went back to everything. And we kind of no, this is right. This is the only natural place. This is the only natural conclusion of this journey.
It's the only way our people win.
But we were shocked, and in that moment that we even had to look at each other. We said, like, is this, why are we the only ones doing this? Now, fast forward a few years, and I'm on a panel recently, and now they're talking about their vision, which is our past, and other people are coming out with they're rolling out things which are our past. In fact, one of my favorites is I saw a screenshot of one of these new ones who a few years ago said we were silly, and they just did a hype video, if you will, on the product. And there's a screen that looks exactly like one of our screens, which was like awesome. It's flattering. The problem was it was the first version of our screen that we rolled out a year ago. Not good.
Well, the issue again is you have to have the ability to innovate in real time. That's it. Yeah. And that's number one. Number two, you have to have the data all connected so you can create better experiences for your customer. That's the game. That's it. And the only way you can do that is this. Bolt-on technology doesn't scare anybody because anybody can do it. If you can raise some money, you can do bolt-on technology. However, this takes a lot of money and it takes a lot of time. But the problem is there's no catch-up. What I constantly hear people tell me is, well, you know, don't you think everyone's going to catch up? And this is what I'd say to them. Show me catch-up. There's only way catch-up looks like this, right? As long as we don't stop innovating, as long as we don't stop looking at the data and building AI in order to create better experiences, folks, there is no catch-up. There is no. By the way, if you think there is catch-up, then how come someone didn't catch up with Amazon? How come someone didn't catch up with Google? Yeah, how come someone didn't catch up with Netflix? How do they not catch up? Because the challenge is that they are so far ahead on curating the experiences that once the consumer starts enjoying those curated experiences for them personally, they have no reason to go, right? Now, the analogy that we use, I'll say this and we'll leave. The analogy that we always use is mobile banking industry. And that is the mobile banking industry was very famous for, hey, 6 months free checking, we got a waffle iron or a juicer, and we have Starbucks coffee in the lobby, come do business with us. And we would just switch and always have free checking, right? And then someone came up with mobile banking, right? Direct deposit, direct pay. And so then we all went, that's awesome. Finally, the banking industry gave us something that really is significant. And we went, yeah, man, I'm going to download all that. And then now that you're doing it, you're loving it, and someone comes along and says, it's catch-up time. I've now built the same thing. So why don't you just switch over to me, and I'll send you a waffle iron also. And you and I look at it and we go, I'm good. I'm good. That's too much brain damage. I've now got all my stuff in here, right? It knows everything I needed to know, and I don't have a good enough reason to switch. So what the real estate industry hasn't counted on, and I don't know why, is there is no catch-up. There is no catch-up in this. And that is whoever can get to the consumer first, meaning you. If you can go to your database and offer them a unique experience that in real time begins to morph itself into what they want it to be, and then someone else comes along later and goes, hey, I got whiskey and cigarettes, and I've got and mine now does that. The problem is that yeah, yours does that, but there's 6 months or a year or 2 years of the consumer now building their life into that app, into that browser. Can you internalize that? Yes or no? Okay. Because that's the thing that scares the out of us. Because if we weren't the ones doing it on your behalf, giving this to you for you to go do, we'd be scared. I mean, I would actually be terrified on your behalf. Because what would you do?
Which is why I also think a lot of our competition is now getting in the game.
And they're late. All right, guys, thank you.
Thanks for staying 15 minutes late. That's all we got, so have a wonderful day. Yeah, I don't want to talk anymore, but Compass did release last week that they're doing what we're doing. They basically said word for word. For those of you that were here when we showed the interview with Robert Repkin from Compass versus Josh Dean, so they had to come out with something because I think he left that interview with his, and I'll quote Dustin, tail between his legs. So.
What was that thing again?
Platform Revolution. I've actually already read it, but we're going to start book club back in November. We're going to wait till November to start.